Hello and welcome, my name's Sam and this is the Little Greenhouse Creates. Thank you for joining me today and thank you for joining me for our first card in this week's stamp set of the week, Everyday Details. So this is the stamp set. It has 7 stamps in total, 3 large focal ones and a small piece. As usual, I have stamped it out so you can see. It's a standalone stamp set. There's no punches or dies, so you can use whatever you fancy with this one. And as I say, you've got 3 focal pieces, a vase, a cup and a nest, and then you've got 3 sentiments. Is you make every day a little brighter, overjoyed for you in this new journey, and wishing you so much joy on this special day. Plus you've got this little detail here, so quite a nice stamp set for colouring. So let me bring in the card and we can get on with our card today. So sometimes it's very difficult to create a sympathy card, and always somewhere in our lives we are going to need one. So this is my sympathy version of the card we're going to create today. However, we will be creating a birthday card for today. So it's a smaller flap card, opens up like so. So let me bring in the supplies, and these ones are a lot brighter. So we have a piece of cardstock which measures 8 and 5 3/4, which we will score in a moment at 4 inches. We then have a white piece of cardstock which measures 3 3/4 by 5 1/2, which is the inside layer. We then have 2 pieces of designer series paper, and as I always say, dig deep into that supply that you have stashed away and you can cut those up as if you wish. So this first piece is 2 3/4 by 5 1/2, and the second piece is 1 1/2 by 5 1/2. And then I have a sentiment piece. Now I'm just going to measure these because for the life of me I can't remember the size. So this is 1 1/8 by 2 1/4, which makes this one 1 1/4 by 2 3/8, and that will just layer onto there like so. Plus I have 2 scrap pieces of paper, one white and one in the gorgeous grape. Excuse me, let me just take a sip. I woke up with a frog in my throat this morning and it won't go, no matter how hard I try. Okay, so let's do our base card first of all, which is unusual for us, but let's do it anyway. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to score this with my scoring tool, and I'm going to score it at 4 inches, which makes it exactly half an inch. Sorry, half an inch, halfway. There we go. And then we can fold it over, and we're going to burnish with my bone folder. And now we've done that, the first thing we need to do is we need to cut an inch off the top side of the card base. Oh, excuse me. So I'm going to lay into my trimmer up to the 1 inch mark on the right hand side, and then I'm just going to simply cut that off like so. Okay, that now we can discard or use at a later date. Oops. So that will go inside, so our piece will go inside like so. We're going to attach that to that, we're going to attach that to that, and that up there. But first what we will do is we will bring in our piece of white scrap, and we're going to stamp the teacup with the flower, and I'm going to stamp that in Pebble Path. Oh, excuse me. There we go. Perfect. And then I'm just going to colour that up briefly. So I'm going to so the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to colour the leaves, and this is light shaded spruce. I'm just going to colour the leaves in that. I don't intend to colour the cup. I'm just going to leave that in the Pebble Path with no added colouring, but I'm just going to add the colour oh dear, excuse me, with the flower. And now I'm using the dark Highland Heather to add colour to the flower. Obviously we do not have the gorgeous grape in blend pens, but this will match really nicely anyway. Okay. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to bring this, and this is light Pool Party, and I'm just going to put a shading round the cup, not on the base, but just round the edge, and I'm just literally highlighting it with the pen more than colouring it in, just to give a little bit of definition to the cup and flower. Right. Because it's light Pool Party, it's not obvious. It's not one of those obvious things, but it does just bring a bit of more notice, a bit of more focus on the cup. I suppose you could say it's a bit like adding a matte layer to a piece of white card. And I'm just going to do inside. There we go. And I haven't done the bottom because I'm literally going to use the grey, and the reason being for this is that way I feel like I've grounded the cup, it's not floating in its entirety. I'm going to try and bring this up and see if I can keep it in focus so you can see. There's just a slight grey hint at the base there, and then you've got the blue around the edge. Okay, so now you can use any circles, punches or dies for this. You just need to cut it out. So I'm going for the 2 1/4 punch that I have. Now I know this one is out of use, but there are other dies you could use, circular dies. Let's do it that way. There we go. And then I'm bringing in my 2 3/8 punch, which is still in stock, and you can get this online rather than in the catalogue, and that will be its backing piece for this card, and that will layer over there and just give a hint of colour. So let's attach that with my multi-purpose. Get rid of that bit. There we go. That will go onto the card like so. So a quick card for a Monday morning. Then we can stamp the sentiment onto here, and the sentiment I've got this morning is happiest of birthdays, and again I'm going to stamp it up in the Pebble Path. Yep. Right, let's see if we can get this straight first time. And straight down. Perfect. Love it. Right, now it's a case of assembling our card. So let's add this to our matte layer. Onto there. Now I'm going to add the 1.5 by 5.5 piece of designer series paper, and I'm going to put it as far right on this piece of cardstock as possible, so it literally butts up with the end of the white card. Right, so up to there. And down to there. Lovely, and then you can add your glue to here. And then that goes inside the card. center it. Perfect. So this is now going to come over, and then I'm going to add this piece on the top as well. So again, I'm going to use my stamp and seal the paper. Oops. There we go. So I need it to line up, so this edge is going to line up with this edge here. As best as I can possibly do it, of course. There we go. And then, so it lifts and you've got that section there. Then I'm going to take my circle and I'm going to add it down to the bottom right hand corner. So it's half onto the section here and overlaps the bottom section here. So when you're coming to glue it, what I do is I flip it over, work out roughly where it's going to go, and then I'm just going to add the glue to this section. Making sure I don't put it onto the other side, and then it can be flipped over. Just to make sure I haven't made a mistake, you can see there's no glue on the other side. Perfect. There we go. Lovely. And then the last thing to do is to add our sentiment, which is to go on here. And I'm going to use the dimensionals. So let's grab that. And the pointy tool. And I'm just going to put 3 of those on here. 1, 2, 3. And I think on this occasion I might add a bit of bling. So there we go, the bling. Turn it over. Now these pieces of bling actually came with the balloon set that we used last week, so when they first appeared in the catalogue last year, and I have a few bits left over, so let's see what we can do. That matches that. Could do the, let's see what that looks like. Yeah, we could do one there, one there, that tiny one go up there, and then I might add a second big one down here. Great, lovely. Okay, so I'm really pleased with that. So for the first card this week, here it is. So this is our sympathy version and our happy birthday version, and I think both work really, really well. So that is us for today. We are back again, of course, on Wednesday with our new, or our second card, should I say. And then on Friday, we've got a still stamp set of the week, but something slightly different. So if you can't join me for the Wednesday, do try and join me for Friday. It would be lovely to catch up with you all. So whatever you do for the rest of the day, enjoy your bank holiday. And I hope to catch up with you very soon. Take care, lots of love, and bye.